2014, more than 3,000 crashes were attributed to distracted driving. A new bill in New Jersey is proposing to cut down on distracted driving by not allowing you to drink your coffee while you're on the road. Here's what the proposed bill states. An operator of a moving motor vehicle shall not engage in any activity that interferes with the safe operation of the vehicle on a public road or highway. Joining us right now is attorney Emily Compagno. Emily, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. So what's your take on this bill? Will this be enough to lower the amount of distracted driving accidents? And what about that, banning drinking coffee while you're on the road?
Right, I think this might have a deterrent effect, but remember, this bill was actually introduced 7 months ago, and we have yet to see a vote on it. That being said, the assemblyman that did introduce this bill, he was actually surprised, saying, I got more backlash from this bill than when I proposed a 25-cent increase on gas. So in terms of the deterrence, if it's actually implemented, then sure, an escalating fine system, which is attached to this bill, would actually work. But that being said, we need to take a step back because the coffee drinking isn't actually specified. As you just said, it simply bars any type of activity that interferes with the safe operation of the vehicle. And it's a corollary to what's occurring right now in many other states, which just bars distracted driving. Opponents of the bill, though, they say, well, look, then cops can pull me over for seeing me doing anything. This could be kind of an open door to really a rogue application in terms of the cops' pursuance of this. So there's that potential, yes, but I do see that it's more of a catch-all that's here to make up for the technological advances so that every 5 seconds we're not seeing a bill that says no texting, no doing this, no Snapchat. It's really just meant to say just focus on the road.
Look, it feels like a slippery slope.
Already, though, it's doing one good thing. I'm not going to say whether or not this bill should actually happen or that this should actually become law, because you're talking about some steep fines. The first offense between $200 and $400 just for taking a bite of a sandwich or a sip of a coffee. Because this isn't just coffee. This is doing anything that might distract you while you're driving. But the good thing that it is doing is at least just raising awareness. I'm quite convinced, based on the eye contact that I always make before I cross in any crosswalk or cross any street, as there are a lot of distracted drivers. Whether it's people texting on their cell phone, doing their makeup in the mirror, whatever it may be, it is an issue, and it does cause a lot of deaths. Going as far as implementing a law, I don't know that I can agree with that. People need to have responsibility for their actions.
That should be banned too, no makeup?
Well, I think that distracts a lot of people.
I think that's a traffic light thing. The other thing I think is that we know that texting and being on your phone is one of the leading cause of accidents right now, and we're not even able to enforce that. So, you know, what are we going to do? In I think what we need to do is be focused on raising awareness of that, get people off their phones, because you're also setting an example for your children. And, you know, when kids first start driving, they're not able, you know, there's so much stimulation for them.
I thought you were referencing children as a distraction, because there's no bigger distraction than 2 crying babies in your back seat.
Right,
That's a good point.
That's a great point. But can we go back to the coffee thing? That sounds like one of the dumbest ideas I've ever heard. I need coffee.
Well, it's anything. It's anything that's going to be a distraction while you're behind the wheel.
To the extent that anybody cracks down on coffee, that's what keeps a lot of us from running into people. It keeps us awake on the road.
Emily, what's your take? It catches everything, but including something like taking a sip of your drink.
Right. Well, a few things. So this really isn't targeting the person that's just drinking coffee and driving along the road. This is targeting that person that just weaved over the center line because his coffee spilled everywhere and he's trying to mop it up. So it's that kind of distraction. And in terms of the seriousness of the fine, it's interesting that you mentioned this is really a campaign equivalent. And as such, this is similar to those fines that were levied when seatbelt wearing was first passed as a law, that people also protested, saying, well, look, I should be able to do what I want. But the issue here is that this is as serious. This is the New Jersey assemblyman saying, look, 3,000 people died last year of the 300,000 distracted driving accidents. So this is just as serious as wearing your seatbelt, and we want these fines to reflect that. Remember, though, it's not a moving violation, so it won't affect insurance if you are caught distractedly driving.
That's a really good point. Emily, thank you. We'll see you soon. Emily Compagno there.